Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Infinite Trade. My name is Robin and let's do our weekly analysis for Nifty and Bank Nifty. So this is something which we began from last week. So we'll be discussing the weekly plan for Nifty and Bank Nifty as well as the intraday plan for tomorrow. So what happened on the expiry day was a tremendous breakout from Bank Nifty, and Nifty continued higher with a gap up. So as of now, the bullish momentum continues in the market, and now if we have to plan our next week trades, so there are certain things that we need to watch out for. So the first thing is this Bank Nifty. Let's first look at the weekly chart to understand what the weekly chart shows. So if you look at the weekly chart, so there was a resistance somewhere in this particular point, so which is 37,844. Okay, so let me just quickly mark that out. So first we'll look at the weekly chart and then we'll look at the daily chart to understand how do we plan our trades. So the first thing that we see here is, so this is a resistance, or you can call it as a area where a sell-off came. So now Bank Nifty was continuously hitting this area and then finally it broke out, and this is a very good bull candle, and definitely you should treat this as a breakout, and it will only fail if we gap down below this. Then there would be a sharp sell-off that we can see, but that seems to be impossible because that gap down should be more than I think around 800 points, so that is not possible. So let's avoid that. And now let's look at the daily chart. So if you look at the daily chart, again a breakout is definitely there in the daily chart. So the breakout has already happened in the daily chart, so let me put in that way. So the resistance was somewhere in this place. Okay, so this was a resistance, and Bank Nifty has already given a breakout, and it formed a small base candle here, and then the rally continued. So now what do we expect is, definitely next week there is a possibility that it may continue the rally, but before it continues the rally, there should be definitely a halt. Okay, so why a halt? Because we saw a very big momentum here, and usually what happens the next day is the market usually gaps up. Okay, so right now we have closed somewhere around 39,340. so the immediate next resistance that comes is 39,500, which is a psychological level, and then the next resistance is 39,800. So this is a pattern which usually Bank Nifty follows. So imagine if we open it 39,500 to 39,800. So everyone has a mentality that these places are resistances, and if you get such a big gap up, so this is, if we hit 39,500, that is about 160 points gap up, and 39,700 and 800, it would be a good 300-400 points gap up. So nobody would actually wish to hold it. They'll definitely try to book profits. So what sort of a candle that I'm expecting on a Monday is a red candle, like with a gap up. We may see a candle something like this, and probably this candle will be a red candle. So definitely market will take a halt, and a lot of people would enter into a long position here because of the bullish market. So market usually traps at such time. So the best possibility is definitely if it is a gap up, then it may put a halt candle. I don't think so, or there is a very less chance that will gap up so significantly and then will move up. But you may have to keep that in mind that HDFC has posted a strong quarterly result. So I'm not sure how HDFC and Bank Nifty is going to react, because before the result even came, both have already reacted. HDFC almost went up to 2.8%, close to 3%, and Bank Nifty is also about close to 2% up. So already a rally has been happened, but definitely it will open with a gap up, and there is a possibility of a profit booking. So this is what I'm looking at in Bank Nifty for tomorrow. So there would be a question like, when you can go for a selling, or when should you be looking out for a bearish opportunity? So the first thing is, usually whenever a resistance is broken out, there is a possibility of the Bank Nifty to be testing it. But you just have to keep it in mind, this has just given a breakout. Okay, so it will not come to test this immediately. So it may give a further rally upside. So 40,000 is something which most of the people are expecting. So it may touch that, and then slow and steady it may come down, it may take support here, and then it may further rise. So do not expect Bank Nifty to touch this immediately, because then if it comes immediately, then it would be a equally big red candle which would look like a bearish engulfing, and in such a bullish market I'm not expecting this a candle to be like this. Okay, so for my view, Bank Nifty this week, definitely it would try to put a good bull candle, but as of a daily candle, we may see at least a couple of halt candles. So why a couple of halt candles is, definitely tomorrow, as I'm looking forward for a gap up and a profit booking, so we may see a candle something like this. So even this range would be a bigger range. So immediately the Bank Nifty would not go and break out this range, because imagine last Thursday buyers made some good money. So now they'll at least keep the market sideways for a couple of days, so that even the sellers make some money. So we may see the next day market to be in range, and then it may further give a breakout upside, and that's when we'll again go for an option buying strategy. So this is what your plan should be for the coming week. Now let's look at Nifty, and then we'll come back to our intraday analysis on a smaller time frame. So let's check out Nifty. Okay, so one more thing before we go to Nifty, I wanted to show you like what are the next resistances and target. So okay, let's do one thing, we'll discuss that on the intraday time frame itself. That would be more convenient. Okay, now let's look at Nifty. So Nifty, the biggest issue for me as of now is, this is one of the price action methods. So we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles. So usually any underlying asset, whenever it makes 5 candles, there is a possibility of at least 2 red candles. Okay, but not necessary that it is going to be a bearish candle, like it will break the lows and come down. Not necessary. Even at the same range, it can take a halt for a couple of days. So that's what I mean. So why am I saying this? Because people should not directly jump into a trade, and you may see no movement for a couple of days. So a very good rally in Nifty also, but the only thing is, you must always remember the gaps which is there in Nifty. So when can Nifty fill this gap? So Nifty can fill this gap only if it breaks the low of this candle. So what is the low of this candle? Let's quickly check that out. The low of the candle is 18,248. Okay, so let's write that down, 18,248. So if Nifty breaks this low, then we can immediately see a target of 18,160. So let's write that down. So the target would be 18,160. So a good how many points? 100 and so 90 points. Yeah, so around 90 points target you can immediately expect. Then further, if it breaks this low is when we'll look for this target. So how do I come to this conclusion? So just see from here. Okay, this is a low. Then the next day, none of the candle closed below this low. Then again, this candle closed higher. This is somewhat same. Okay, but so what you need to keep in mind is, in a bull market or in a bull trend, so all that you have to watch is the candles should not close below the previous candle's low. I hope you got this point. So here, if you see, none of the candles has closed below the previous candle's low. That means it is quite bullish, and that too, even after a gap up, it has still managed to close higher. So tomorrow, what can happen is, we have closed around 18,338. The next psychological number or the psychological resistance for Nifty is 18,500. So imagine if market opens gap up around 18,500, somewhere here. So definitely the buyers, whoever are still holding into this rally, would try to book their profits here. So we may see a red candle, something like this. So there is a possibility. So this becomes a halt candle. Why a halt candle? After a significant uptrend, now the market is taking a halt. So this halt should be a halt for us also. And in intraday, we'll take this as an opportunity to do a short trade here. Looking at the candlestick pattern, something like that. So next day, in case if we break this low, okay, it will take support here. So this day, definitely you should avoid the trade. Okay, why avoid? Because it is a profit booking candle here, and then it is taking a pullback. Only if it breaks this low is when you will go and buy put. But otherwise, if you enter somewhere here, then it would be a trap kind of situation. So just keep that in mind. So in Nifty also, we broke a resistance here. Just a moment. So this was one of the resistance. So clean and clear breakout and continuously gap up and then closing higher. So which is a very good sign of being bullish. So I hope you all understood the point. So next week also, I'm not expecting a red candle as such for the week. See, already we have a very good bull candle. So there is a possibility that on a daily chart, we may see a couple of halt candles for Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, and then we may see the rally continuing upside. So this is my view for Nifty and Bank Nifty for the coming week. So now let's go back to Nifty and Bank Nifty and check out the smaller time frame. So this is the 15 minutes time frame. Yeah. Okay, so now what I've done is, since Bank Nifty and Nifty both are at all-time high, we do not have resistances to mark. So I normally, what I do is I use the Fibonacci levels to understand the resistances. So I've already marked it. I'm just showing it to you. Okay, so if you see this black line 38113, this was the breakout level. Okay, so there was a resistance here, and Bank Nifty has given a breakout at this level. So the immediate next resistance, so let me not discuss the range here, but it has gone up now, and even crossed this and gave a closing above. So now what should be your resistance? So if you look at this Fibonacci level, okay, so what you could normally do is this particular area, this is a very big area. Okay, so Bank Nifty cannot just go up and up and up and reach this point in a single day. So how much difference is there here is 40,805 minus 39,304, so which is about 1500 points. So we can divide this into two halves, so that is divide by 2, so that is about 750 points. So if I add this 750 points to 39,304, it comes out to be 40,054. So if you see, I have marked a line at 40,054. So this is going to be a resistance, at least for tomorrow, or maybe even day after tomorrow. It depends where we open and how we close. So this is my resistance so far. And before that resistance, I have a psychological number of 39,500. So I've marked a resistance even there. So based on this area, so what you can do is, for a trade tomorrow, it's simple. So mark these resistances: 39,551. Okay, I'll write it here, and 40,054. 39,551 and 40,054. So these are two resistances that you may have to mark. Okay, and what you're supposed to do is, tomorrow if we see a very big gap up, there are two things that you can do. First, see if Bank Nifty is forming any sort of a red candle on a 5 minutes time frame. If it is a red candle, and if the next candle is immediately breaking the low, you can go for a short trade here. Okay, with this high as a stop loss. Second, if you're a conservative trader, and if you want to watch how HDFC is performing based on its results and how Bank Nifty is reacting to it, you can wait for at least 15 minutes. Okay, the first 15 minutes candle, so let the first 15 minutes candle to get plotted on the chart, and then you can again take a trade. So I would not recommend an upside trade immediately tomorrow. If on a 15 minutes time frame, if you see a red candle, and then if it breaks the low, the next candle, then also you can go for a short trade. Okay, but otherwise, please keep in mind, you should take an entry with strict stop loss, because this is in an uptrend and we are taking a reverse trade. Why we are taking a reverse trade? Only because we're going to get a big gap up. But otherwise, if we open flat, say within this area, definitely you know as soon as we close one candle above this, you can immediately buy. Okay, and this rally will not halt at 39,500. It will at least move till 39,800. So this is one of the best trade that we can get if we open flat. And if we open gap down, so there is no chance of gap down, but in case if we open gap down, avoid trading because of the volatility, because buyers will be there everywhere. Some buyers will be shocked, so avoid the volatility. But otherwise, the best trade is a significant gap up at somewhere in our resistance area, and if we see a next candle breaking that low, is when you will enter. Your first target would be the high somewhere here, which is 39,400. So here you will book your positions. So this should be your plan for Bank Nifty tomorrow. Now let's quickly look at Nifty. So Nifty, let's go to 15 minutes. Okay, so now we are at 15 minutes time frame, and open the levels. So if you look at the levels again in Nifty, it is somewhat similar. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so even in Nifty, if you see, this red area is huge. Okay, so right now the area starts from 18,250 to 18,750. Okay, so a big 500 points area. So I've divided this into half, so my immediate resistance happens to be 18,500. So if you see, I've marked a line here, 18,500. So this is your resistance. So if we open anywhere here, so if you have checked SGX Nifty, it has closed at 18,471, so which is close to 500. So tomorrow, if it happens to open somewhere in this area, definitely people would like to book their profits. Okay, so similar thing, a red candle, then the next candle, if it breaks the low, immediately enter. This area should be your target, 18,350. So this is your plan for Nifty. And in case if we open flat for any reason, and if we immediately break this within first 10-15 minutes, you can go long, and then 18,500 becomes your target. Okay, and any gap down below this point, avoid trading. So this should be a plan for tomorrow. So I hope things are clear, and I hope these levels would help you to trade well, because if you have been watching my video closely, all my levels are 100% accurate, and Nifty and Bank Nifty definitely respects that level. So you can take any form or any sort of trading at that level. So it is that accurate. So please do check that out. And in case if you have or if you have any questions or how I do that or how to use Fibonacci, you can ask me. I can come up with a separate video on that. And finally, I think so I did not miss this, but I was not actually quite I did not wanted to refer this data because this data isn't that significant. So FI's call sell is just about 3,000, put sell is just about 130. So that means they did not carry much of their position, but their future contract, they have some good quantities. So definitely they are still bullish in the market. And if we look at ProDesk, call buy is about 15,000 and put buy is significantly higher, 68,025. I don't know for what reason they have so many of put buys, but that can be because even they might be expecting some sort of profit booking. So let's see, any which ways, with the help of price action, we have already decided that if there is a significant gap up, there is a high chance of profit booking, and will not go and enter in any long trade, at least for tomorrow. So I hope things are clear. We'll meet in the next video. I plan to launch another video today, but due to some personal work, I couldn't record that video, but I'll do that in the coming week and post it on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye. Let's meet in another video tomorrow. Bye.